It's Gabriel.
It's Bailey.
And this is CYMK.
I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What am I even doing here? I keep it clean for this job space. What's up and welcome back to I don't know how to start. It's been so long.
The last one, did you listen to it?
The AI one?
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't.
It was amazing. Your intro was like we were beatboxing and it sounded really good.
We can beatbox again.
I'll just put it in front of this one. It'll be our intro music.
What's up, you guys? Thank you for joining this CYMK podcast. Back here again. Well, back here again with back here again with back. My name's Gabriel.
My name's Bailey.
And this is CYMK.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to talk about what we've got in there. AKA pointing to the museum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For our audio listeners only, she was pointing to the museum.
Yeah, I thought that was clear because I went, and that's the only thing that could mean was the
Some
museum.
people don't know. You know what could solve that is if they watch the video version.
Where I'm just pointing to these black panels. If you don't know, right behind us is a museum.
I guess they wouldn't know that.
Panel.
Yeah, they would not know that at all.
If you just looked right behind these black panels, there's a window, and besides that window, right behind that window is the museum right there. So there you go.
Our exhibits are open as part of our grand reopening, which is really exciting because we haven't been in the main museum in many months. So now we have 2 exhibits in there right now, and you can come see them until March, I believe.
Yes.
We have Microscapes. Yeah. And we have NC Wyeth in the Golden Age of American Illustration, and we'll talk about that one
next
on a different episode.
Both exhibits are beautiful, but we just wanted to focus on the fiber arts one as of today. Maybe because I'm a little biased to fiber art. Maybe because I love quilts, and I think painting isn't a beautiful art form, but something about quilting is beautiful art form. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I have a really good appreciation, I think, for fiber arts because they are like kind of the underdog of the art world sometimes, and people don't view fiber art or quilting or sewing as art sometimes. So like to see this traveling professional beautiful exhibition come through with all these different artists is really satisfying.
Right. I think, yeah, like you said, it's easy for people to just kind of dismiss it because you can get a quilt at Target any day. And it kind of looks like a
mass-produced.
Yeah, mass-produced. But these quilts.
Yeah, but these are art.
One of a kind.
Art pieces.
Art pieces. We have a Microscape exhibit, which is a series of hand-quilted, what would you call them?
Quilts?
Well, but like maybe just because when I think of quilts, I think of like massive-sized quilts to cover like a king-size bed. And these things are not that size.
Some would say they're micro.
But that's not why they're called Microscape.
No, you're right. You
want to know why they are called Microscape? Because it's like under a microphone. Or microscope. Microscope.
It is a traveling exhibit from the Studio Art Quilt Associates. And I can tell you a little bit about that incorporation in a minute. But yeah, we have quilts. They're smaller quilts, but they portray these magnified versions of everyday objects, but like to a point that you can't see with the human eye.
Mm-hmm.
So
underneath
really
microscopes, cool. These artists viewed these objects, and I mean they vary from chemicals themselves, from elements, from the earth itself, from hair follicles.
Yeah.
So there's many different varieties of biological like images.
Right. Very organic, and this is all in fiber art. It's all quilted, whether by hand or by machine, but yeah, really cool.
Human made,
not AI generated.
One thing that I was confused about when I first started was like they're all different artists. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was one artist.
Right. So this this traveling exhibition was put together as a collaborative between all of these different artists. One thing I found really interesting is that
What?
Is that these artists who are creating these quilts are also scientists. So they've actually spent time studying these structures.
Yeah.
And they know them on a fundamental level, and they use that knowledge in their recreation.
I want to tell you about my favorite I picked 2 favorite pieces. So first one is by Carol Kuzmal. It's called Brain Cells. This is what it looks like. Wait, which ones did you pick? Well, wait.
We'll get to those. I didn't pick that one though. That's a good
Okay.
one though.
Should I read the whole thing?
Sure.
If you didn't know, because you probably didn't know. So you walk up and you go into gallery 3 and you look at all of them. Gallery 2. Oh gosh. Where am I?
Microscapes is in gallery 3. Gallery 2 and 3 are on the 3rd floor. Gallery 1 is where an NCY is.
You're right. Okay, so
So
you walk
gallery
up
2 and 3.
walk up those little stairs. Where is it located? This one? Let me see. I actually can't remember. Oh my god, I know where it is. It's gorgeous. It's tucked away in a little corner in the 3rd gallery. You gotta walk. And next to all of the quilts is a little blurb about what it's zoomed in on, and then some science facts about it. So one of my favorites is brain cells, just because of the stitching in these pieces, and it's just very collaged around. The colors are absolutely wonderful, whimsical, if you could say.
I could say it,
Like,
but I want you to say it.
Okay. I want to read the blurb to you. Brain cells is a whimsical and imaginative view of what part of my brain might look like under a microscope. These are probably paisley patterned creatures sloshing around in there. Perhaps they are segmented sections of information seeking a place to grab hold and settle in. There are certainly sparks of illuminated light in my brain, as well as dark and crowded corners. Strands of small button-like cells may be trying to hold memories together in some sort of my brain spaces, and straight-edged, sharp-cornered structures surely and stubbornly exist, although they may be pink with polka dots. It seemed appropriate to add pajama fabric, as my brain gets lazier with age.
Oh, I love that last part.
I know, I love that part too, because you can definitely see the fabric used in there is a fun, playful fabric.
Yeah, and it's more, I don't know, it's more interesting that they also think about what kind of fabric they're using on top of the visual of the art piece. So,
and because I can
it's really
assume,
interesting.
I'm sure that she referenced a actual brain in some sorts just to get the structure right, but yeah, with the colors, just to go playful with it and put them reference to her indirectly. So
I also love that she says like there's little playful creatures
I know.
in there, because that's how I feel sometimes.
And the piece really goes to show for it, so I really liked it. It was very eye-catching.
That's lovely. Did you look at any of her other works while you're researching?
I just focused on that one for now, just because I didn't want to get to and this and focus on.
She might be worth exploring. Cool. Okay.
Just like her brain exploring.
Wow.
So tell me one of your favorites.
Okay, I'm going to tell you about Carla Stare.
Tell me.
So I'm going to read you the blurb that she has next to her art piece, and this is the art piece right here.
Beautiful.
To describe it for our audio listeners, it's one of the most interesting out of the bundle, I think, which is why I picked it, but it's these zoomed in hair follicles. And I'll tell you where those hair follicles come from in just a second. But
Like what body part?
well, bold of you to assume human. By the way.
Whoa.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
So it you can tell it's like these large hairs closely magnified, but it's just a really cool art piece because they hang off of the backdrop of it. Like it's real 3-dimensional and it's really cool looking. So I'm going to read you a little blurb from Carla Stare's art piece. She says, me. She says, as a scientist, I studied cells and tissues of marine organisms with a scanning electron microscope, SEM. Part of my work included showing the public how the SEM was used for scientific research. I was always on the lookout for demonstrating samples that would be familiar to people who might not have a scientific background. One day, an unfortunate spider on the wall of my lab became a demonstration sample. This piece is inspired by the stunning pattern of microscopic ridges and hairs seen on the SEM on the back of that spider.
Wow.
It's spider hair.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't
I
that
would
cool?
not have even thought of that.
Me neither.
That is awesome.
I love it. It's a really cool art piece, and know it's spider hair is
It's
even
pretty.
cooler.
And it makes your skin crawl when you look at it. Not like crawl, but makes you go, oh. I
Yeah.
think because it's the only piece. Well, there's the other 3D piece that's like 3D.
Wow.
There's another 3D piece in the exhibit, But this one is by far, like, it jumps out at you, and I think
Mhm.
that's what kind of catches you off guard, because as soon as you walk into the gallery, you turn to your right and you see that, and you're just kind of like,
It's
what
one of
is
the first
that?
pieces you see. And it's also one of the only ones kind of that she completely said it well herself, but is recognizable to people who don't have a scientific background.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
you know it's hair, or you might think, like, that looks like hair follicles or something. So,
And you'd be right.
yeah, you would be right.
All those times you had to take biology in high school and in middle school and elementary school and in college, it's paying off.
And in undergraduate school, and no.
And at your marine biology job, it's really paying off for you.
Yeah. Wow.
But
Carla?
it is easily identifiable, and so it connects to you when you're kind of like, I want to learn more about it. So then you
Yeah.
get to read it and figure out it's spider hair. It's
Spider
awesome.
hair. So I also looked into more of Carla's other work as an artist not associated with the Microscapes. And okay, I have to show you this because she does really cool stuff. She continues to perpetuate this. I want to show what, like, these scientific samples look like to people who don't have scientific backgrounds in her other work. So she'll do, like, shark scales, or she'll do, like,
And are these all quilted?
they're mostly, yeah, they're all fiber art.
Mhm.
They are. And so one of the other ones that I found that I really love is these big oysters. Let me find the paper.
Show me a picture.
So let me read you this little blurb and I'll show you the pictures.
Okay.
So Carla is a fiber artist influenced by a scientific career as a marine biologist. As a scientist, she studied cells and tissues of marine organisms and photographed the complexity and beauty of aquatic organisms with a scanned electron microscope. Several of Carla's
SEM.
SEM, you got it. You remembered.
I did.
Several of Carla's microscopic images have found their way into her fiber art. So this is her oysters. They're super cool. They're these
Whoa.
three-dimensional
Whoa.
fabric oysters. They look kind of like they could be like
Hot
a cool
off the
purse.
grill. That is so cool.
I know, right? They
I
look
love
like they
that.
could be a purse or like a, I don't know, like some sort of cool accessory, like if you were to wear it.
Mhm.
I don't know why I go to clothes, but like they're these really cool. Picture right here. Or look up Hot Off the Grill by Carla Stare. Really cool pieces. I
That
love
is
them.
awesome. And again, like, that's easily identifiable because it's an oyster.
It's an
Most people
oyster.
know what oysters looks like.
Yeah.
Have you ever had oyster?
I have.
I have too.
I mean, nothing special.
I didn't like it.
I-
The thought of it makes me want to throw up.
I wanted to chew it, but I don't think you're supposed to chew them, right? You just kind of knock it back.
I want to tell you my oyster story just because it was recent and
Tell
it was
me.
like.
And
So,
Carla is listening.
Carla, I want to tell you my oysters. I want to tell you, Carla. I don't want to tell Bailey. I'm
Oh.
talking to
I'm
Carla
gonna
through
leave.
Bailey. So I had gone to trip on the beach and I had oysters and I didn't know that you could either have them raw, and that's what people usually get is the raw ones, and that's whenever you slip them back. And then they have cooked oysters. So the cooked oysters have flavor though, like they had a buffalo oyster, garlic, whatnot. So then my friend and I got that one and we tried them and they were warm and they smelled foul. They were disgusting. So that was like $30 because you know how much oysters are.
They're expensive.
So it was like $30 for maybe like 8. And then well, we were like, well, we want to try the original because that's what we wanted originally was the one served on ice with the lime and all that, or the lemon and stuff. So then we spent another $30 eating these 8.
bold.
And they were also disgusting. They remind me of belly button fuzz.
Oh,
That's what I felt like I was eating the whole
That's
time.
bad.
It was bad.
it was really bold
But
of
Carla,
you.
your art's good. So
It was really bold of you to try them, say this is foul, and order more. I'm just going to say.
like to leave like with an $80 bill for 2 servings of oysters that we did
Ugh.
not enjoy.
You know, you're a woman of experiences, though.
Yeah.
Before we do another favorite piece, can I tell you a little bit about the Studio Art Quilt Associates?
Yes.
Awesome. So, actually, I won't tell you. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm begging to know. I want to know. Bailey, please tell me.
Okay, the Studio Art Quilt Associates, SAQA. Do you think they go by Saka? No, they wouldn't.
No, because that'd be with the C.
Sakwa?
Sakwa?
Soka.
Sakwa.
I'm sorry. The Studio Art Quilt Associates, they're a nonprofit organization whose mission is to promote the art quilt. So a creative visual work that is layered in stitch or that references this form of stitch layered structure. They say, our vision is that the art quilt is universally respected as a fine art medium. SAQA's core values are excellence, innovation, integrity, and inclusion. And I just love that little blurb about them. It's beautiful.
Because Microscape isn't their only exhibit or traveling exhibit. They have multiple, about a dozen of different artists who make different themed quilts. So,
and it's all just to perpetuate the inclusion of art, or the inclusion of fiber arts into the professional art world as a medium. I love it.
I love it too.
I'll also read you a little bit about the panel info from the Microscape exhibit, just so you know a little bit more. The audience, not you. You already know a little bit more about this exhibit, and then we'll go into our other favorites.
Okay.
That sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Microscape, a traveling studio art quilt associates global exhibition. Isn't that fancy? Don't you love
Global
that?
exhibition.
Global. Explores the elements of our known world that are far beyond what we can see with the unaided eye. Microscopes, magnifying glasses, and virtual imaging techniques reveal a world of great beauty and complexity. That world contains the smallest particles, tiniest organisms, smallest landscapes, or natural details, and provide us with an abundance of artistic inspiration. Isn't that beautiful? Very. Because you don't think about, what could my subject be? Oh, how about something that I can't see with my naked eye? Amazing. Really cool.
I think it is cool.
Yeah.
I think whenever I was unwrapping all those, I was like, what could this be? What could this be? And then I put the little panel next to it and I read, and I became 10 times smarter.
Right. I just love when artists give us that little blurb about the art piece, because drawing my own conclusions is fun and everything, but to see what the artist is thinking while making it.
Because it's so much, it's easy just to say, oh, zoomed in photo of skin. Okay. But then for the artist to actually go in depth, why do they choose skin?
Right.
What is, like, why do they choose the hair? Because the spider, da-da-da-da.
Yeah, marine biologist and yeah.
Okay, I want to finish this up with saying our last favorite, because you and I have a common interest. I can tell through our paper.
I can tell by the energy in the room. The energy in the room.
Whoa. Speaking of energy, Marian Zelinsky created one of our common interest pieces, molecular energy. As you can see right here.
It is also the piece that I use personally to promote the show in
so
every
you've probably
piece of media.
seen it. Yeah. You've either seen it on our website, on our social medias, you've seen it on our postcards, in the newsletters.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
But it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
The colors are eye-catching.
Stunning.
The way that it flows and the way that she sews the seams and
Intriguing. Inspiring.
So I want to read you her blurb.
Please do.
The underlying images for this piece were created using an acrylic pouring technique and takes advantage of different pigment densities to create cells and cell structures, which are both the subject and the medium for this work. Molecular energy thematically focuses on the kinetic and constant energy present in the battle between elements in the dance of cellular replication, and even the act of creation itself.
The act of creation itself.
I like that she says the elements in the dance.
I know, because it is like a dance.
It's very flowy, the way that all of these colors and the way that the energy moves together.
Using an acrylic pouring technique that takes advantage of different pigment densities to create cells and cell structures. I do know what she means by that, because when you do like acrylic pouring, you've seen it. They fill a cup or whatever, and then they turn it upside down, and then they take off the cup and all the acrylic spreads. Have you seen videos about that?
Yes.
When you have like a thin paint and you layer that with a thick paint and layer that with a thin paint and layer that with a thick paint, that creates those cell-like structures, because it spreads differently.
Yeah.
So the density of the paint, which is really cool, which is really cool that she likens that to biological and organic material when it's acrylic paint. Do you want to know a little bit more about Marian?
Tell me more.
Okay, because I looked up her as well and looked at her other artwork apart from the Microscapes exhibit. She does continue to do these awesome quilts that I'll show you in just a second, but I'm going to read you a part of her bio and artist statement. She says, I'm a studio artist currently living and working in Macon, Georgia. I work primarily in fiber, surface design, acrylic and mixed media, incorporating photography, digital composition, traditional fine art, and textile media. She is a woman of all trades.
That is a lot of media.
She knows everything. She's just the perfect person. She's the perfect woman.
Perfect.
She says, to create original fabrics as a canvas designed for quilted, gestural, and contour drawing. I've spent my career as a theater designer creating environments and costumes for unfolding of dramatic stories. It is not surprising to me that in my current work as an artist, I'm most intrigued by the poetics of light, the character of spaces and shapes, and the dialogue between colors. So I say that because I'm about to show you this art piece that I found on her website called Respiration. And it is absolute, like the absolute drama and intensity that can only come from a theater designer.
Yeah, very thematical.
Yeah. Just look at this.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that just beautiful?
That's a play in itself.
It just tells a whole tale.
I just like, aside from the photo, I like the stitching and interweaving and the texture
kind of coming out of the border a little bit. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's very cool. The color scheme reminds me of molecular energy. She's got
Is it based off of music?
I don't know.
This looks very
That's a good question.
musical because it looks like a conductor holding the wand, and then this is like a music note. Maybe it's not music, and maybe I'm just seeing things. So
well, I wouldn't be
Mariana
surprised.
has to tell me.
Not only is she an artist, but she is like this ex-theater designer, and gosh, she can do everything. She can do it all. I'm jealous. I love you, Marianne. There's just one line that I will end off by closing it with a nice bow.
Okay, wrap it up pretty.
And this is from the jurors' essay for the Microscape exhibition from the Studio Art Quilt Associates, Lyndon Gledhill. I'm just going to read a little tiny sentence that it just really resonated. They said, "Art and science are one for me. They demand curiosity, creativity, experimentation, successes and failures, and most importantly, collaboration across boundaries and between diverse people." I love that.
Comparing art to science. That's nice.
And the diversity of humanity.
If you don't have a date idea, wink wink, bring your lovely significant other to the museum.
Please.
How
romantic.
That would be so romantic.
Oh my gosh.
To see all of the paintings and all of the quilts, and then maybe kiss under a spider hair follicle by Carol.
The spider hair follicle.
Under the zero.
Please.
Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode, as scattered as it may have been.
Come see Microscapes, up now until March 31st.
It's a good one.
That's if I said the wrong date, and I'm going to cut that back in.
It is 31st, though.
Okay.
So just keep... Whatever that is, just keep it in. Yeah. Sure. But we'll see you on the next one.
See you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.